coming to you from Koliabor in Nagaon district of Assam. Besides me is the National Highway 715 that links Guwahati with the oil and tea rich Upper Assam region and onwards to parts of Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland. This is a very important national highway, and here in this area, just besides the national highway, starts the limits of the famous Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve, famous for its one-horn rhinos, the tigers, the elephants, and its ecology. It is a major tourist hotspot, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to lay the foundation stone of a major infrastructure project that is going to be a game changer in this region. Spending over 6,950 crores, Centre is going to make an elevated corridor, a flyover which will act like an elevated corridor, which will be about 35 kilometers, linking Koliabor, which is one end of the Kaziranga National Park, to Bokaghat, which is the other end. In fact, this elevated corridor, when it will come up on this national highway, will actually pass through three districts of Nagaon, Karbi Anglong and Golaghat. What is important to note here is that not only there will be an elevated corridor, but it is this highway, which is now a two-lane highway, will also be turned into a four-lane highway. Now, why it is important? It is important because this will cut short the travel time between Guwahati and the Upper Assam region, given the fact that now you have this two-lane highway, and because the Kaziranga National Park runs parallelly with this highway, therefore vehicles have to maintain a speed limit of 40 kilometers per hour, and therefore now the elevated corridor will be taken for people who are trying to go to Upper Assam. That will cut short the distance, and particularly during floods, when the animals move to the higher grounds, they get hit by vehicles. Those kind of accidents will be minimized. So this will be also a boon in terms of preserving and conserving the wildlife in Kaziranga. We will take a drive-through on this 34 to 35 kilometer stretch where this unique elevated corridor is going to be built, and we will show you how this is going to be a game changer. We are taking you on a drive-through through this stretch of about 34-35 kilometers from Koliabor, which is the starting point of the Kaziranga National Park, towards Bokaghat. Usually it takes about more than an hour, in fact 1 hour 15 to 20 minutes to cross this stretch, because every vehicle has to maintain caution on the National Highway 715. You can see on my left you have the Kaziranga National Park, and you have this two-lane highway. It is always busy because it connects Upper Assam region to Guwahati and Lower Assam, and not only Assam, it also connects parts of Nagaland, parts of Arunachal Pradesh. So this is a very busy national highway, and ahead of me is an animal corridor. You can see here, this is the Kaziranga National Park, and this is the the grassland, and you can see here an elephant. You can see elephant here, although this is an elephant probably of the forest department. You have a forest beach house there, forest camp there, but this grassland, remember, also is a easy escape out for the animals, be it the rhinos or the tigers or the deers, as they cross through these kind of animal corridors. If I can ask my camera person to pan straight, you have the animal corridor here, and a lot of caution has to be maintained by the vehicles that ply on this route. Speed limit of about 40 kilometers per hour is fixed, and therefore it takes a lot of time to cross this entire stretch of about between 33 to 35 kilometers on this stretch. And in fact, when on this route the elevated corridor is made, which will be a unique project in the country, the center is ready to spend over 6,900 crores for this. After this corridor comes up, there will be a change in the situation, as the animals will be easily able to pass through and they don't run the risk of being hit by the moving vehicles. And also the time taken to cross this stretch will actually minimize, and therefore this is going to be a huge boon for not only the people here but also for the animals. Even as the National Highway 715 passes just adjacent to the Kaziranga National Park, over to my right, on this National Highway, which is very busy, there are several animal corridors like this one. Now, if you can see, these are designated animal corridors through which animals passes or crosses the highway from the grassland of the national park on the northern side to the other side, which is the Karbi Anglong side, where you have the foothills ahead. And particularly during floods, when there is inundation of the core area of Kaziranga National Park, the animals, they actually cross over this national highway and they move towards higher ground. And at that point of time, several measures are taken, like a time card. Already there is a speed limit of 40 kilometers per hour put in place here, and a heavy fine for violation. You can see those boards clearly saying rupees 5,000 fine for violation. Despite that, between 2021 to 2025, in these 5 years, no less than 85 animals, including one-horned rhinos, deers, they have been hit by vehicles, particularly during floods, because the animals also are stressed. They try to run over the vehicles, although maintaining speed limits. Sometimes there is collision. So therefore, this elevated corridor is seen as a game changer in terms of not only infrastructure push but also balancing infrastructure push with animal conservation. We are near the Bokaghat town of Assam, of Golaghat district, along the National Highway 715, and we have taken you on this special drive-through on this 35-kilometer stretch from Koliabot to Bokaghat along the Kaziranga National Park, where in a couple of years' time there will be a unique elevated corridor, reducing the distance of travel time between Upper Assam region and Guwahati, and more importantly, it will reduce the number of accidents of animals being hit by the vehicles plying on the national highway. In a way, this will not only balance infrastructure push and animal conservation, but be an example on how humans, animals and development can coexist. From Kaziranga National Park, with cameraperson Sanjay Chakravarti, Ratnadeep Chaudhary for NDTV.